It's Friday, May 30th, 2025. Breaking news. Tonight, JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon just grabbed a mic at the Reagan National Economic Forum and gave us all a free sample of what a fiat meltdown sounds like.
We know what constitutes national security. We need, I was saying we shouldn't be stockpiling Bitcoin. We should be stockpiling guns, bullets, tanks, planes, drones, rare earths. We know what we need to do. This is not a mystery.
Did you say stockpiling Bitcoin?
I said we shouldn't be stockpiling Bitcoin.
Oh, it shouldn't be. Okay.
We should be stockpiling bullets.
Okay.
In front of a room full of legacy dinosaurs and defense contractors, Dimon warned that America shouldn't be stockpiling Bitcoin, but instead should hoard bullets, drones, and rare earth metals. That's right. Wall Street's most overpaid fiat fossil thinks we'll survive economic collapse by turning the country into a militarized flea market. We shouldn't be stockpiling Bitcoin, he said, while running the very bank that's knee-deep in digital asset patents and secretly loving the blockchain. Dimon wants tanks and missiles instead of sound money, because nothing screams 21st century economic stability like prepping for World War III while your dollar dies of obesity and debt rot. Dimon also trotted out the usual fear-mongering greatest hits: China, nukes, and the enemy within. Spoiler, the real enemy is within. It's the crony banking class leeching the economy dry while blaming TikTok and Bitcoin for their failures. And let's not skip the irony here. While Trump builds a federal Bitcoin reserve calling it a virtual Fort Knox, Dimon wants to LARP as a Cold War general, defending the dollar like it's not a bloated, brittle relic backed by faith, force, and 34 trillion in IOUs. Jamie, we don't need bullets to defend the dollar. We need a funeral playlist. I'm Max Voltz, and this is CryptoWars, where the only thing more fragile than fiat is Jamie Dimon's ego at a Bitcoin conference. And in other crypto news, the fiat regime just took another body blow, this time from a resurgent Binance US.
The SEC is formally dropping its lawsuit against Binance and its founder that accused the crypto exchange of illegally serving U.S. users, inflating trading volumes, and commingling customer funds with their own and others.
Meaning crypto's most public punching bag just walked out of the ring without a scratch, and with the U.S. dollar back on the deposit table. That's right. USD services are fully restored, ACH transfers are live, and users are flooding back in like it's 2021 with fewer red flags and more green candles. Binance US isn't just alive, it's flexing, and it didn't waste time rubbing it in, firing off a victory post that basically said, "Case closed. We never broke your rigged rules to begin with." This isn't just a win for Binance. It's a humiliation ritual for the SEC. After years of regulation by lawsuit, Chairman Gensler finally got the boot. And now, the agency's new leadership is walking back cases like they forgot to read the Constitution. Binance US credited the courts for slapping down regulatory overreach, proving what we already knew. The SEC wasn't protecting investors. It was gatekeeping innovation like a jealous mall cop with a badge and a vendetta. Meanwhile, Binance US is back to offering over 170 tokens and staking rewards on more than 20 assets. And the timing couldn't be better, because the US dollar needs all the help it can get. The same dollar Jamie Dimon wants you to trust, while it silently hemorrhages value faster than the Fed can invent acronyms. The tide is turning, the crackdown's losing steam, and crypto, real crypto, not CBDC clown tokens, is clawing back territory in the US. While Bitcoin wins in the courtroom and on the streets, over in Zuckerland, it just got bodied at the shareholder ballot box. At Meta's annual meeting, investors had the chance to inject some digital testosterone into their $72 billion cash hoard by converting a slice into Bitcoin. The result? A landslide of limp fiat loyalty. Less than 0.1% of shareholders voted in favor. That's not a rejection, that's a restraining order. Proposal 13, pitched as a hedge against bond market mediocrity, went up in flames despite solid backing from outside voices like Strive Asset Management and ETF guru Eric Balchunas. The message was clear: buy Bitcoin or sit on a pile of rotting cash while inflation eats your lunch. But Meta's moneymen chose the same dinosaur dance: hoard dollars, buy bonds, and pray Powell doesn't sneeze. Mark Zuckerberg didn't say a word. Because when you're neck-deep in ad revenue, cash piles, and metaverse avatars without legs, who needs digital gold? Let's break it down. Meta has $72 billion in cash. That's $72 billion earning less than inflation, backed by a currency getting debased faster than Jamie Dimon changes his crypto stance. But rather than shift 1% into Bitcoin, just 1 freaking percent, they chose to stay strapped to a sinking fiat cruise ship because that's how we've always done it. Meanwhile, smaller nations are stacking sats, ETFs are mooning, and normies are finally waking up. But Meta? Still treating Bitcoin like it's a Nigerian prince email from 2009. Our final story tonight takes us to SoHo, where luxury real estate just became the backdrop for one of the darkest crypto stories of the year. An Italian Bitcoin investor was kidnapped and tortured inside a Manhattan townhouse for nearly 3 weeks, all because he wouldn't cough up his crypto wallet password. His alleged captors? 2 men named John Woltz and William Duplessis. Their methods? Electric shocks, pistol whippings, death threats, and nearly tossing the guy off a balcony. But here's where it gets even dirtier. 2 NYPD detectives are now under internal review for possible ties to the case. One of them allegedly drove the victim from the airport to the torture site. The other, suspected of collaborating with the kidnappers in some unauthorized capacity. Oh, and one of these cops reportedly served on Mayor Eric Adams's personal security detail. That's right. While the mayor's out here pitching bit bonds and preaching innovation, his own backyard is harboring rogue cops and crypto extortionists running a Bitcoin Guantanamo in SoHo. This isn't just about 2 sick criminals. It's about power. The kind that doesn't like people storing wealth in 12-word seed phrases they can't seize or censor. It's about a system that feels it slipping and lashes out in desperation. Because Bitcoin doesn't bend to threats. It doesn't negotiate with corruption. And when the thugs, the cops, and the suits all start sweating the same thing, you know you're holding something real. I'm Max Voltz, and this is CryptoWars. Well, folks, that does it for tonight's transmission. The fiat system is cracking, the elites are panicking, and the signal is only getting stronger. And don't forget, subscribe, share, and rally the signal. Because in this war, every click is gunpowder. Good night, degens. Stay sovereign and stay spicy.